you talk to yourself. You better talk to yourself. You better have conversations, figure out a yin and yang of good and bad. For me, it was about personal evolvement after that accident. And still trying, man. It's the biggest battle. It's the biggest battle is just doing right all the time. That's a battle. When I go to a restaurant and they bring out a plate, the waiters say it all the time, don't touch that plate, the plate hot. You know what I do, Jay? You know what I say after I touch it? It wasn't that hot. They told me not to touch the plate.
Yeah.
He said it's hot.
Yeah.
I still gotta go and touch the plate anyway. It's a battle. So being okay with understanding that I'm going to lose and win in this battle, and this battle is not over until the day I'm in the ground. Cause you're not gonna get it right. And there's people with this idea and this mindset and mentality, they're gonna get it right and everything's gonna be perfect. It's not. Don't play that perfect game because all you will do is get let down because perfection does not exist. I do firmly stand on that and believe that.
Absolutely.
It doesn't exist, man. You should try your hardest to get things right. In moments where you got them wrong, figure out how to never get them wrong again. That's the world of compromise. That's the world of growth. That's the world of evolvement. But you just gotta do your best to not only overcome, but just get by. Once again, it's a battle, right? Marriage, love, you gotta learn it. And at a young age, when you're embedded into it, you're not gonna get it, right? You gotta learn it. It's unfortunate how the lessons come from whichever side, however it happens. But when learned or when taken as serious as it can be, of course you reap the benefits and you see how amazing it is. But I wasn't that smart and I'm not gonna act as if I was. And that's from my first marriage to that. The patience to sit and listen, be a sponge, learn, figure it out. And figuring it out, there was another side of not being okay with the incomplete version of figuring out the thing that I didn't do. Well, why did I go ask all these questions if I'm not gonna try it now that I know how? All right, well, let me try it. The only consequence is failure. By the way, not trying is failing.
Well said.
I wanna make that very clear.
Well said, yeah.
Not trying is failing. There's a lot of things that people can't do simply because you've never tried to do it. And I'm not saying that you should try everything. I'm not saying that you're supposed to do everything. I'm saying that for me, when someone says something and I go, no, I never did that. I have to have a reason for why I've never done it and a justification. If you ask me something and I go, no, and you just say why, and I go, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
I like to have a reason why. And that's the foundation that I stand on. That's how I built this mindset, this level of energy to go ahead. Rhyme and reason within my why.
What is the best advice you've ever received?
Don't be local.
Be global.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Do not be a local comedian.
Love that.
Make the world laugh.
Second question, what is the worst advice you've ever received or heard?
Worst advice I've ever received or heard is sometimes you gotta make a studio respect you. You said don't give long answers after, so I'll summarize it.
I want to know, yeah.
It was based
now
off
I want to
of,
know. Now you go.
It was based off of, after you get to a place in acting where you become number one on the call sheet, if a studio isn't doing things to your liking, well, sometimes you gotta not show up. And the reason why I say that's the worst advice that I've ever received, I'm a straightforward businessman and I always have been. And the world of negotiation can be simplified. It doesn't have to be the game of back and forth and true war, right? So being in a room and having a face-to-face conversation with foundation of understanding of what you want versus what I want, you can succeed a lot more. And I've never not done that. All opportunities, all business, all relationships have flourished because of an understanding of communication that I've done in the room.
Question number 3, how would you define your current purpose?
My current purpose is about embracing the world of we and making the we bigger than the idea of me.
Love that.
And that's for anybody in the position of, whatever your version of star or success is. It's embracing the world of we, making other people feel like they can, creating opportunities, changing the economy by broadening your businesses and more jobs, more opportunities, etc. We, brother, how do we have more success, more wins?
Question number 4, what's something you used to value that you don't value anymore?
The world of approval that you can't control. I can't control what the world thinks or what people thinks, and I thought that I could. I thought that I could do everything to show you that I'm a good guy, nice guy, trying to do that because that's naturally what you are, who you are, and you want people to know that. But you can't control that. Like, you can't control it. So one thing that I do not need is the idea or understanding that everybody loves you.
Yeah.
I don't need that. And once upon a time, I thought that I did. There was a fear of, what, people don't like me. Why? What'd I do? I didn't do.
Yeah.
And that's not the case anymore.
That's incredible. All right, fifth and final question. We ask this to every guest. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
Practice what you preach.
That's a great law.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Practice. Be a definition of what you preach. Right? Like,
Yeah, that's a great
it's
law.
easy. It's easy to have words. It's easy to say. It's harder to do. I would love to see a world of more doers than sayers. I can easily sit here and ridicule or judge my dad for the mistakes that he made or for his past, but that does nothing. I don't like to focus on problem. I focus on solution.
Yes.
So with me and my dad in our relationship, it was always one of solution. Like, you can't go back and fix the years that you weren't present. There is nothing that we can do about that time. We can have a conversation about it. We can talk about it. And then me and my dad talking, my biggest thing was, you don't have to focus on what you can't change. The fact that you're here now and that you made a decision to get clean, to turn your life around, it's never too late. My dad was, 50 plus at the time when he said, I'm gonna go ahead and figure it out. And I'm gonna close that door and I'm gonna work on this other door. This door over here was, like I said, jail, drugs, in and out of his kid's life. There's a time when we didn't know where my dad was. And I bumped into my dad on a train. I tell a story. I bumped into my dad on a public transportation in Philadelphia. Like, not seeing him in years, I randomly saw my dad. And my dad was so embarrassed, he got off the train and ran. But it's like, that's where that world and that relationship was. And what I do very well, I don't hold on to grudges or gripes. It takes too much time, it takes too much energy. Things will work themselves out. They never not have. It'll always work itself out. I mean, my dad worked it out, right? Like, it's about the grandkids. And our relationship got better as he embraced the opportunity to be a great grandpa. And I think it's very important for people to see other entertainers at this level just simply celebrate each other's success. I love it, whether it's rappers, singers, actors, actresses, comedians, writers, directors, whoever. I love to see a room where people are in it and they're celebrating one another. We're all a part of a fraternity, and if we treat it right, that fraternity will have an amazing stance forever, right? Like, you don't want to attach bad stories to it if we don't have to.